First graders, hello, welcome to chapter 7 and 8 of The Case of the Disappearing Dinosaur. It is Thursday, right when I'm recording this. Hope you guys are doing good. Today is actually my wife's birthday, which is pretty exciting. So, luckily I bought cake mix and frosting weeks ago, so got that covered. We're probably going to order pizza, just because we've been having home-cooked meals for a while now. Sounds like a good time to have a treat for her birthday. For her birthday, I was like, man, I can't go to the stores. Bummer. Like, unless I really want to, but I'm choosing not to. I bought her a new video game on her Nintendo Switch. I bought her the new Animal Crossing, so she's excited about that. Good. Could come in better timing because she's almost done playing Pokemon Shield. Believe it or not. She's quite the gamer when she has all this time off, so that's pretty cool. So, yeah, her and I have been gaming in the evenings after we tuck the kids into bed. I play on the Xbox, PlayStation, and she's sitting next to me playing on her Switch. So, yeah, having a good time today. Let's see, other than baking a cake for my wife, I made her breakfast already, made her coffee. I'm going to trim some trees. My fruit trees are growing like crazy, and they're getting really big. I like them small to where I don't have to use a ladder to pick the fruit in the summer. So I'm going to trim them just about as tall as me, or just a little bit taller so I can reach. So, yeah, exciting day. Woo! Hope you guys are having a good time. I see that a lot of you are still logging into Clever. That's awesome. If you're working on your packets, great. Yeah, tell your parents if you have any questions just to email me and I will get back to you. I check my email 3 to 5 times a day, so even at night. So don't be afraid to reach out if you're like having problems with something or you're worried about something. Just let me know and I'll take care of it for you, okay? Chapter 7. Meet Buster. Mila, Ralphie, Joey, and I piled into my dad's minivan. I used to have a minivan. We were late for Biggs Maloney's birthday party. Joey kept licking his lips and whispering, I want cake. I want cake. Shh, Joey, Mila hushed. There's more to a party than eating cake. Is there, though? I mean, cake is the best part. I know, Joey said, but I can't stop thinking about cake ever since we went to Grandma's birthday bakery yesterday. Buckle up, my dad urged. Let's get a move on. I've got to get back to take Daniel and Nicholas to soccer practice. Then I've got to drive Hillary to the Steamer 10 Theater. He sighed. I feel like I spent half my life shuttling you kids to practices and distant dentist appointments and birthday parties. One of these days, I'm going to trade in this minivan and get myself a little red sports car. Good idea. I heard that speech a million times before, except usually my dad described the goggles and long white scarf he'd wear. But that's grown-ups for you. They're always complaining about something, usually us kids. Okay. Yeah, sometimes. It's like they forget they used to be short once too. Go figure. At the front door of the Maloney's house, we heard crying and screaming and the yip-yapping of a small puppy. I didn't know Biggs had a dog, Mila said. The door swung open and a small brown dog leaped at our throats. Yip, 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 it yapped, scratching at Ralphie's pant leg. Down, Buster, down, boy, Biggs commanded. Picture. Meanwhile, Buster, the dog, kept bouncing up and down like a fluffy basketball, licking, yipping, yapping. Somebody gave that dog too much coffee, Ralphie joked. He's adorable, Mila gushed. She bent down to pet the puppy, only to get licked like a lollipop. I've been slimed, Mila moaned. Biggs introduced us. This is Buster. We just got him yesterday. He's my birthday present. Mrs. Maloney appeared behind Biggs. As usual, she had a baby in her arms. The other twin toddled near her feet, gurgling and laughing at Buster's antics. Yes, a new dog, Mrs. Maloney said, looking tired and frazzled. We didn't think life was crazy enough already. I laughed. I've got 3 brothers and a sister and a big dog. I got big dogs too. I told her. Our house gets pretty noisy sometimes. My dad calls it a joyful racket, except I'm not sure he always thinks it's so joyful. 5 kids? That does sound like a racket, Mrs. Maloney said. With a weary grunt, she heaved a baby from one arm to the other. You've already met the twins. This is Larry, and that's Harry, she added, eyes toward the ground. He's the one sucking on Jigsaw's sneakers. Picture. Yeesh, what a party. First dog slime, then baby slobber, and we hadn't even gotten past the front door. Okay, Larry, no more eating my sneaky weekies, I cooed. No, Jigsaw, that's Larry, Mila said, pointing at the baby in Maloney's arms. The one washing your shoes with drool is Harry. That's the problem with twins. They'd be okay, I guess, except they look alike. Do you ever get them mixed up? I asked Mrs. Maloney. I hope not, Mrs. Maloney laughed. Actually, there's an easy way to tell the difference. Larry has a freckle on his nose. Harry doesn't, but please, come on in. You can put your presents on the table. Everyone is out in the backyard. Mr. Maloney is getting ready to begin with the water balloon toss as we speak. That sounds like fun. Great! We raced through the house and into the backyard, screaming at the top of our lungs. Excuse me. Chapter 8. The Magic Show. Okay, here we go. I always said that Biggs Maloney was built like a soda machine. But Biggs was nothing compared to his father. Mr. Maloney looked like the truck that delivered the soda machines. He was bigger than Big. He was gigantic. Mr. Maloney filled water balloons from a garden hose. A group of kids swarmed around him, like gnats on a gorilla. What does your father do for a living? I whispered to Biggs. Climb the Empire State Building and swat down planes? King Kong reference, if you didn't know. Oh, picture. Biggs laughed. No, Jigsaw. That's King Kong, see? So sue me, I answered with a shrug. Maybe I got them confused. Actually, I'm a florist, Mr. Maloney's deep voice. Actually, I'm a florist, Mr. Maloney's deep voice answered. A florist, I murmured. You look like you could play a linebacker for the Chicago Bears. Mr. Maloney laughed like he had heard that kind of comment before. I played a little ball back in my day, he replied, but now I work with flowers mostly. Anyway, that's about it for these water balloons. Let the games begin. For the next half hour, we played water balloon toss, ran egg on a spoon, relay races, and even had a giant tug of war. All the kids from Mrs. Gleason's class were there. Biggs Maloney's twin brothers, Harry and Larry, were crawling all over the place. I saw them almost get stepped on about 12 times. Even Buster got into the action, chewing on the garden hose. Ooh, I have a dog that likes to chew. Drives me nuts. I had to get a new bicycle helmet recently because my bicycle helmet was chewed up by my dog. You leave anything out and he gets to it. It's really frustrating. He chews on everything, Mr. Maloney said. Typical Labrador. Well, that's my dog that chews is part Labrador as well, a lab. If you don't keep an eye on them, they'll chew your house to pieces. Lucy Hiller suddenly cupped her hands around her mouth and yelled, Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Danica the Great will now amaze you with her magical talents. Picture. Yeah. Please follow me into the basement. Our show is about to begin. We crammed into the basement. I got bumped from behind. I turned and saw Bobby Solofsky. Whoops, he said. My elbow must have slipped. We exchanged dirty looks and sat down. Lucy stood behind a desk. A cloth covered it and draped to the floor. Everyone cheered when Danica took the stage to the thump-thump, whack-a-whack-a-thump of loud music. I have to admit it, whoa, either not enough coffee or too much. Danica did a great job. She performed the mind-reading trick with the cup again, but this time I figured it out. I noticed that Lucy changed the direction of the cup's handle each time she covered a new coin. It was a secret signal, I realized. Like a code. If the handle pointed to Danica's left, it was a penny. If it faced away from Danica, then it was a nickel. To the right, a dime, and facing Danica meant a quarter. like this. Interesting. Here's the picture code. I had to cheer. They sure had everyone else fooled. Danica did some card tricks. Then she took a clear plastic cup of water and put a piece of paper on it. Then she turned it upside down and the water didn't spill out. Milo whispered, "My father taught me." Taught me that one. It's done with a little hole near the bottom of the glass. Danica covers the hole with her finger and water can't fall out. Picture. Where was I? I will now levitate a human being, Danica said. What is levitate? Joey asked. And what's a human being? String Bean Noonan wondered. Danica rubbed her eyes like she felt a headache coming on. I mean, I'll make my assistant Lucy float in midair, Danica explained. Danica stood in front of the table. She asked Lucy to lie on her back. Danica took a large sheet and covered Lucy. It wasn't easy because Harry, or was it Larry, kept getting in the way. Meanwhile, Buster sniffed underneath the table. Danica waved a wand and said some magical mumbo-jumbo. We all gasped when Lucy and the sheet rose about a foot into the air. Presto finito! Danica cried out. Lucy slowly lowered it to the floor. The room went wild with cheers and applause. That's easy, Bobby Solofsky barked. Lucy turned and got on her stomach right when Danica covered her with the sheet. She didn't float in the air. Lucy did a push-up. Danica stared angrily at Bobby. Then she said, for my final trick, I will make something disappear. She glanced around the room and saw Big Maloney's dinosaur display. She took a plastic stegosaurus and held it up for all to see. Danica slowly sat behind the table, and now, she whispered, pausing for effect, my greatest trick of all. So she said plastic stegosaurus. Check out the dinosaur on the cover. Now, I'm no expert on dinosaurs, but that does not look like a stegosaurus to me. Ooh, Chapter 9. I'm going to save Chapter 9, 10, and 11 for tomorrow. Okay? So thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys if you're checking out these videos. That's awesome. Thanks for getting into Clever, working on Moby Max. Hopefully you've had a chance to check out Dreambox. Raz Kids, it's really important to read every day, okay? And not just reading books that you know how to read. You need to read books that give you just a little bit of a challenge. Otherwise, you won't go up in your reading level, okay? So make sure you're challenging yourself. If you're not able to get on the internet, hopefully you have some good books at home. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow where I finish this book. I'm going to take the weekend off from reading, but on Monday I'll start into our next book, okay? And I'll let you know what that is tomorrow.